Welcome back to Inside the Humidor. I'm Josh Eagle, along with certified tobacconist Ed Brandyberry. Today we actually are going to smoke through some research and development cigars from Tobacconist University and then talk about the final product. We're also going to talk about our newest cigar, Stack Habano. It's Ed and I's first attempt at our own cigar, and we couldn't be happier. Stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun.
$6.49 to $7.49,
Yeah.
right?
Price is right.
Yeah.
I'm Josh Eagle. Welcome to Inside the Humidor, alongside with certified tobacconist Ed Brandyberry. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about how to blend and create our own cigar, which was awesome. First, we're going to start off by talking about Tobacconist University, and we have some great products from them. You see these things here. We're going to explain what all these are here in a little bit. All of those are going to end up being one of these. So,
Well, we're
fresh
not
off
gonna
the
put 'em together.
certification. No, we're not going to put them together. Yeah, we're definitely not doing that.
We're definitely not equipped to roll the cigars, but what the blender starts with to find out just how he's going to build a cigar blend is something called a Perito. And usually he'll have at least 2, 3, depending on what kind of cigar he's going to make. He might have a 4th. There are some that use 4 fillers, and then a binder and the wrapper. Now these Peritos are made from one individual leaf, all made up, so that what they're going to do and what we're going to do to demonstrate today is we're going to smoke these one at a time, and then we're going to have our other cigar. And we're supposed to be able to taste the different components of the blend as we continue in this.
So similar to mixing grapes,
Yeah.
you know, you have to take certain amounts of tobacco from certain leaves grown in certain regions, and you're going to trying to blend them together to get one fantastic finished product.
Right.
So what the Perito does is gives you the ability to taste that individual tobacco as it's going, and you're mixing it. You're tasting them all. You know what the tobaccos taste like. You think they may have a nice marriage together, and it finally ends up all 5 of these make the components of this cigar. So why don't we fire up our little Seiko?
We're going to use that.
We more than one lighter in, or we're on
One
one lighter
lighter
show
right
here.
now.
Show's
One
on a
lighter.
budget. Only have one lighter.
Tobacconist University has supplied these to us. When I was certified as a tobacconist, the one thing that allowed us to do here at the store is have access to these different blends and Peritos and the finished cigars and other things that we can do that allow us to continue consumer education. But Tobacconist University also supplies education to cigar professionals. They certify tobacconists. They also certify sales reps. Some companies require their reps to be certified by Tobacconist University. And then there's also a program called a Master Tobacconist, and that's something that yours truly hopes to accomplish sometime in the next year or so. So,
What does that require, Ed, that goes above and beyond the certified tobacconist?
well, usually time spent in the field, but because of our trips to Nicaragua, hosted by Perdomo, that trip itself meets the hourly requirements. But now what I've got to do is a wonderful independent project. And any of you RMU students that might be watching, you know how much fun independent projects are. You have to have it approved by the people you're doing the independent project for. So
they're
I
looking
still
for something
have to,
new in the industry
right,
too.
right,
Yeah.
and they want something that will advance education. So it has to be something like that, and I'm still working on the idea of how we do that, and what would be a good, helpful project for everybody. Anyhow, what we have are these.
The little Seiko pieces, and
Yeah.
they've just marked them with some letters that mean something to them. They mean nothing to us. What I'm basing this on is strictly on flavor. This particular leaf right here, when you first smoke it, to me, it's ultra bitter. It's real hot because of the way that these are rolled, so you have to kind of take that out of the equation. You gotta smoke them very slowly. I think I've already made a mistake. I took too many big puffs, like I'm smoking a backwoods or something. And but
They're not a backwoods.
no, they're not a backwoods.
I assure you, backwoods aren't made this way.
But you see, as a
There's
single
not a lot of
component,
flavor to it. Is
no,
there?
there's not a lot of flavor, just bitterness, just
But
straight
they really
bitterness.
burn,
Oh yeah.
which is typical of this. The Seiko leaf that we're smoking first is from the bottom third of the plant, and it actually has real good combustion properties. And so, putting Seiko in, you can ensure that your cigar's usually going to burn and maintain a burn well.
Absolutely. Maybe some of the viewers at home don't realize that not all tobacco, depending on where it is on the plant, is combustible. It'll actually go out on its own. You have to set it on fire for it to light. You actually need this the more combustible leaves, the ones that actually burn, to accelerate, to allow that cigar to burn all the way through without having to relight it every 5 minutes like a pipe.
So much difference between this bottom Seiko, and then you have the Viso, which is in the middle, which we'll smoke next, and then the Ligero, which is the top part of the plant. And the Ligero has a lot of flavor, but it doesn't burn well. So there are people that say, "Oh, Ligero cigar." That might be. I'm not going to call anyone a liar, but let's just say that it's really hard to keep a Ligero cigar burning if it was all Ligero, especially some of the more popular ones that advertise they're all Ligero. Then what we should probably do is light these.
Yeah.
See about tasting this in this
It's the
cigar.
best idea I've heard all day.
Now we actually get to smoke a real cigar. No one understood what I said, but that's all right.
I'll light up a real one. What do you think of that, the Seiko leaf? What kind of budget is this show operating on? Hey!
Hey, now the
Oh,
blood
now we're
torch.
cooking with gas.
There we go.
Yeah, this is overkill,
We,
but I love it.
yeah, we like lighters that we can also use for plumbing.
That's right. You just sweat a pipe or light a cigar, and you're in good shape. So, like I said, I just got nothing but bitterness, not a lot of flavor on the Seiko leaf, and a real fast burn, hot burn.
Yeah, it's a hot one. I didn't get as much bitterness, but it wasn't a flavor that I really would make. Like they say, if we really like a burrito, it'd really make the blender's job easy, because you could just make all the cigars out of one leaf, one bunch of leaves. And that's not the case. That's what makes it just like the ingredients in a good soup, a good dish that the chef makes up. It might not be as good by itself, but you put it together with something else. I don't know many people that would just make a dinner out of pepper.
Do you think this lighter will light this?
Yeah, I'll bet it will.
So I'm going to go into the to the Viso. That's the middle section of the plant that they will prime sometime in the middle of the process. Let's see if I get any different components on this than I did from the Seiko.
Well, you can really taste that, can't you, when you're in the cigar?
Yeah, you really can. You jump in there, then that component is right there. It's still on the palate. It's in there. I'm like double puffing over here. Better slow down. It's only a half-hour show. We have the technology to time lapse it though. Well, already In the Viso, it doesn't go straight on fire like the Seiko did, where it was just burning down. This, even though it's a single leaf that's just rolled very loosely and very quickly, it's still burning a lot slower
Yeah.
than that Seiko did. And you're definitely getting more flavor out of this. It's definitely more mellow to me than the Seiko was. I'm thinking that the Seiko is in that blend straight for combustion.
It's taking more work to light it than the other did.
You might need a bigger lighter.
Well, I don't think so.
It's actually relatively pleasant.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. But obviously
Which is-
it's going to lack complexity.
Right.
There's nothing there.
No, it's going to be this flavor all the time, all the way through. And did you catch a little sweetness?
I did.
Yeah.
There's definitely a little sweetness to this particular leaf. It's nondescript and we don't know what it is because it's in research and development. They wouldn't want us to steal it.
I grabbed the wrong one.
Uh-oh, what'd you grab?
I grabbed the Lajero.
That's why it's not burning at all, Ed.
That
Jumped
was
the gun.
why I couldn't light it.
We'll cut that out and put it in the other order.
Ah, band. Here's my Viso. Seiko, there, Seiko. How did I do? Start in the wrong order?
Yes, that's why you're not getting that bitterness.
I'm lecturing you on making sure you don't mix them up, and here I go. Get them in the wrong order.
Well, that's the one that I got the bitterness on, Ed, to go
Okay.
backwards. And that one takes off like a chimney.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Little bitter,
That's
Right
that
from the
Seiko,
get-go.
Right from the get-go.
and it hangs in there.
It's unpleasant. Which makes it fun when the cigar comes out at the end. You need some of those types of leaves.
See, does that mean you take these together? And
That's a good idea. How'd that turn out?
come on, folks out there. You know we're a little nuts, so.
The old two cigars at the same time. Very interesting. Now, when I took some of this Viso and then you take that, you actually get whatever component you just smoked comes right out in the cigar, and the blend is completely gone. You're actually pulling out the one you're tasting over and over again.
Yeah, you are. And we had an interesting same effect when we were in Nicaragua last time. Nick Perdomo passed out just hands of tobacco.
Yes.
And you
Smell.
buried your face into the hands of tobacco, took that up, grabbed the cigar, did that, which, by the way, is the blend that's going to be coming out as factory tour.
Oh, great.
We thought it was 20th anniversary, and it was factory tour. And it was really nice. And it came from 3 different areas, 3 different parts of the plants, too.
Well, smell and taste is super connected, so
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to
yeah.
pull that out of there. And if you take the hit of this Viso, I take a puff on the Viso here, and then I go to the cigar, and I'm pulling that flavor out. When I had the Seiko, same result. We're just going to puff right along here, guys.
What I can see how once you've started with the Seiko and then gone to the Viso, and then you've gone back to the cigar, you can start to see, do these really go together or not?
Absolutely.
Because I think that if that was any more bitter, it wouldn't go well with that Viso that was in there. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
So that's something they have to do when we're blending a cigar. It might sound like, well, you just take some Seiko, you take some Viso, take some Lajero, throw them together, and you got a cigar. But it depends. Is the Seiko going to be from a Corojo plant, or is it going to be from a broadleaf? Nowadays, they even use Pennsylvania broadleaf in any part of the cigar.
Yeah.
And A.J. Fernandez is one who's done that. He's used that. So has Sam Lesia. Think of some others, but
A lot of people are trying to find new ways to,
Right.
use the leaves that in different ways that haven't been done in the past, which is why the industry right now is just, it's so complex. There's so many options. There's so many choices.
there are literally thousands of cigar blends out there right now. And then we go through this ourselves, but we go through in a little different form. We might get a cigar that's like what we're smoking, that someone else has already blended. and then they send us samples. So that's how we came up with Stack Habano, where we went through cigars, different blends.
After the blend was done, that's how we
Right.
selected our Stack
Right.
Habano. Was we took it from this level,
Right.
just a lot of different blends to smoke through to pick the ones that we like the best. Our next venture with AJ Fernandez in November, I'm not sure where we're going to start. We
bet.
might start here,
Yeah, I would guess.
which could be very, it's a much more complex. This is like, do you want the red Ferrari or do you want the blue one?
Right.
You know, they're already done. This is like, do you want to build the Ferrari from scratch in your garage?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between
Here's
the two.
the kit.
Right.
Which parts do you want?
Which parts do you want to put together?
So
that'll
yeah.
be a big jump for us. And learning this, it's pretty amazing actually getting to taste these
Yeah, it is.
in that reverse order. It's really neat to taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to be able to sell those because you're a certified tobacconist. You're going to be able to
That's
get
right.
the research and development and do this yourself.
That's right. We'll be able to not only hold classes using these, but we'll also be able to make them available to the public to buy.
I'm going to jump into the Ligero here, Ed, and pass
Mm-hmm.
this giant torch. So the next two that we have after we smoke the Ligero are going to be actually the binder and the wrapper. The binder that holds the cigar together, and the wrapper is what we see, touch, smoke, and taste on the outside, that beautiful wrapper that's on the outside of all the cigars that you'll grab in a premium lounge.
If you went by pure percentage, how much is the flavor? You would come up with the number 20% for your wrapper. But I really think, even though I tend to agree with the low guys on the influence of a wrapper on a cigar, when you're putting it in your mouth, directly in your mouth and on your lips,
it has to have more influence.
higher percentage of impact on what you're experiencing.
Oh,
So-
this Ligero is nice. This is the one.
Yeah, it is.
You jump the gun, Ed, and smoke the hair. There's where that sweetness is coming in. That's real nice. So as a singular leaf, Ligero is the top of the plant, the very top of the stalk. They leave it out. They grow big. Since the stalk is primed in primings, the leaves are cut off from the bottom up, and you're left with Ligero. Why they have, you can get some sweetness, you can get some great nicotine powers because they're taking all the nutrients from the stalk because all the other leaves are cut off and they're not fighting for those nutrients and that
Right.
different. So then they leave them out, they become nice and giant leaves, Ligero, and it's just been used now in the industry. Ligero's become the industry standard.
Right. People, as a matter of fact, enough so that Ligero, which is in demand, when they use a Ligero for wrapper, they advertise
Right.
that it's a Ligero wrapper.
Right.
Because you know you're getting a more flavor, even more flavor, and oftentimes, like you said, more power to
You
the
can-
cigar.
On the first few puffs of this, the power is already creeping in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot more nicotine in Ligero than there is in the Viso and the Seco because it was left on the plant longer. The nutrients, the natural processes of the plant, it just has more. It's just it's the V8 of tobacco leaves. It's just a bulky, powerful leaf.
Yeah.
Interesting to smoke them in this single component. It's completely different than smoking a cigar.
This cigar was blended by a company called J Fuego, and I understand that its actual rolling and construction was put together by AJ Fernandez.
And J Fuego seems
So-
to have a pretty good name in blending.
Yeah, very good.
And blending cigars isn't for everybody. I think on the last episode we had Ricky Rodriguez, who is the master blender of CAO, and he was able to talk a little bit about the process and how he got to be that.
Right.
So it's
You
actually a pretty amazing craft. You know, you really have to hone those tastes. You really have to be able to figure
I'm
that
not
out.
sure I could be a full-time blender because you've got to always have an acute sense of taste.
Yes.
And with, some of my problems, I don't always have that. I have days when I have no sense of taste at all. So I might as well just go to inexpensive Casa de Garcia and smoke those all day.
Yeah.
I just
Let's
my
not do
principle
that.
of thing I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Let's not do
Yeah.
that. Don't be hasty yet. Not that there's anything wrong with Casa de Garcias out there, folks. But I'm really enjoying smoking that and then going back to this, and actually the
And we
flavors
haven't
just
got to
pull
the
out.
binder and the wrapper yet.
No, we haven't.
It's interesting. You could almost make a cigar. From our experience, you could almost stop here,
Right.
and with just the Seco Viso Ligero combination,
I get the idea.
you have a nice thing. So now you can see where the blender. What direction do I go now? I'm going to take 2 higher quality leaves now. These are generally maybe a little lower quality in the filler.
Yeah. the
And
fillers usually-
so they're going to be leaves that may even have a little minor damage to them that are used in filler, but you can't do that with the binder and with the wrapper.
Whoa.
You just lit the binder.
Yeah.
Whoa, huh?
If anybody out there at home's ever cut the wrapper off of their cigar accidentally and have it unravel on them, and you smoke on the binder, it's never pleasant. This,
Well,
by itself,
one reason why.
is terrible, actually.
One reason why. If this is a Ligero wrapper, they're going to need
Some more
they're
combustion.
going to need some more combustion.
Oh, boy. That one's going down.
And binders are usually, as you know, if you've ever lost your wrapper and you tried to smoke it on the binder, they're not usually as pleasant as that wrapper. And so now he's scared me to take a puff.
Go ahead. Enjoy that one. You on your binder, Ed?
Mm.
I think you're on your wrapper, aren't you? No, you're on your binder. Good. What do you think of that? It's harsh.
You would not want to make a cigar out of this.
Absolutely not.
But now we pick it up and we
Oh,
smoke
man.
this.
I hope I don't pull that flavor out of here.
You do, but you notice the other one's mixing. The
Yeah.
other one's mixing with it.
Yeah, it's not as noticeable as
No,
when you went and pulled out the filler.
no, but you can tell you want something more,
Yeah.
and that's
Huh.
where the wrapper burritos are going to come in. Which it's a broadleaf. We don't know if it's Connecticut broadleaf or Pennsylvania broadleaf, but it's a broadleaf wrapper.
Yeah. Wow. You can't. It's lingering though. That binder is lingering. All right. We're gonna have to get to the.
We gotta get to the Ligero.
Moving on.
I mean, to the wrapper.
We need some cheese or some crackers or something. It's getting ridiculous. Bad day to quit drinking.
I shouldn't drink not the water yet. Boy.
That's interesting. I wonder how the burn's going to be on those guys. I'm actually doing this for the first time, so I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I've done this a couple times.
I guess we did it with La Aurora.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Viva Republica.
This is fun, and I'd recommend anybody if you get the chance to do this. It's just something different. It's really about learning about the process. I mean, that would be like taking a blended scotch and tasting all the individual components and putting them together. Like that would just be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would.
And testing the bourbon throughout its
or
fermentation
wine.
process. Wine the same
Different,
way.
yeah.
Different components of the blend and the grape. See, now back to the wrapper. It's sweet.
It is, but I
got a-
still don't know if you just smoked this component, you'd go, wow, that
Yeah.
was interesting,
Yep.
but
I think the Ligero was the most interesting to just smoke on its own.
yeah. But there's that broadleaf sweetness on the palate, left on the palate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That cocoa that usually comes with
Yeah.
with Connecticut broad.
And
whatever,
don't get us
Pennsylvania
wrong, when we talk about spice or cocoa taste and things like that, those aren't things that have been added to these cigars. That's a flavor profile that just naturally comes out of the leaf. You know, it's cultivated just like you would any other plant. There's nothing added to these.
So with Stack Habano, we picked a blend from finished products.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing you got to do is you have to design something that's going to go on the outside, because the bands are super important to cigars. So we designed the logo. We printed it on the boxes, which are another component. The logo
Right.
in the box. And you come out with a great
That Churchill's really a nice looking
finished
Churchill.
product. We went with a square style band. The elegant logo. The box top was branded in, which we like that, because at the end of the day, cigars are about brand.
Yeah.
You know, they're about the brand and the branding and
How
who's
it's
doing them and
perceived.
how it's perceived. And we couldn't be happier with the outcome of this one. A little nervous at first. Hadn't.
Right. Our first one.
Yep.
The first baby in the family.
Mm-hmm.
But it really turned out to be a nice cigar for us. The response of our customers has been overwhelming, really.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
And so much so that the cigar is supposed to come in 4 sizes, and one size won't be available to us maybe for a month.
I'll tell you what, though, after smoking the wrapper on this,
Mm-hmm.
it really comes all back together again.
Mhm.
How strange is that? Because now I don't just taste just that wrapper taste. I get the entire cigar again.
Mm-hmm. And you do.
I'm actually amazed by that.
That's not a bad cigar.
Mm-mm. Changes.
You know, sometimes students are susceptible to doubt because they sometimes think that their professor's trying to pull some over on them. And they didn't do that here. This is a nice cigar.
It's different. I'm actually tasting different things by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tasting different things almost on every drag from this cigar.
Nick
It's
says
strange.
that's the real key to complexity. It's not so much the changes as you progress, so those are part of the complexity. But in each section, you should get an interplay of flavors.
Right.
You know, Nicaraguan cigars are famous for a lot of spice, peppery tones here and there, some more than others. And this one, I have a feeling, being by Fuego, I have an idea this is Honduran and Nicaraguan, probably because it says Hondu Nica.
Sherlock Holmes over here.
Yeah, yeah. read the cheat notes.
Well,
But there were things about that reminded you of, say, a leaf.
Mm-hmm.
There were, or a Honduran Rocky Patel,
Absolutely, they do.
and then some other things with this broadleaf that remind you of many nice Maduros.
And the R&D, they're going to be bringing out a new blend for people to try on a monthly or quarterly basis?
No, I think it's they're at the mercy of the cigar companies,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that they're trying to have an annual release.
An
is what-
annual release.
An annual release. So,
Overall, it's a pretty fun experience going from start to finish like that. You know, we've talked on episodes past about, you know, from leaf or from seed to smoke.
right.
You know, this is about as close as you're going to get with finished product, getting from seed to smoke. And you see the components. We put together the components. We smoked all the components. And the end result is a fantastic premium cigar.
Very nice. Even if it does say R&D.
That's right. And they gave us this one, too. I'm not sure what that is.
I think it's another version of the same cigar, only it's actually marketable under that name.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank the folks at Tobacconist University and Ed Brandyberry for being a certified tobacconist so they would give them to us. It's pretty awesome. For Ed, I'm Josh. You were watching Inside the Humidor. Get out there and burn one. Thanks for watching another episode of Inside the Humidor. For Ed Brandyberry, I'm Josh Eagle. Inside the smokestack on University Boulevard in Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Any questions about the research and development cigar or our own cigar, Stack Habano, and look for our newest releases, you can get a hold of Ed at smokestackpgh.com or call him at 412-375-7627. What's the price on these guys, Ed?
That's Churchill's $6.99. The
Churchill?
Gigantor, which is a $6.60.
Nice.
Those
red
of
ring
you
gauge.
who like a nice big ring gauge cigar, that's only $7.49. So
You also
very
have the
nice
Toro
price.
size here.
Toro's just a dime less than the Churchill, $6.89. And we don't have the Robusto present. Our customers have wiped us out of them,
Which is fun.
which is $6.49.
So the price is right. Come on down and give our first attempt a shot. I love it.
It's a great cigar.